it means that not all innovations are perhaps welcome in the long run. But CBDC is not the only innovation. We cannot say the only innovation which is interesting is ours. If it's felt this way, it would be a catastrophe. So I really think that we have to reconcile two completely opposite words, which are stability and innovation. And we are responsible for financial stability. But stability without innovation is conservative, and it will die. But innovation without stability will lack trust. So it's our job. But we are completely open to consider that CBDC is an innovation, not the only one. It's not the holy grail, but we should seriously study it, because if not, we will deprive our fellow citizens from the access to central bank in the next decade, which would be a huge regression for the people's well-being.
Okay, so we're going to fast forward 5 years, because I think that's about what we were saying. I'll ask you, and also with a little caveat in that, as you said, sand dollar was the first, but it's a teeny fraction.
Yes.
It's early days, but what? It's 0.1% of transactions. Okay.
Yes.
Fast forward 5 years. Do we have a central bank digital coin out there in the world that is being utilized on a daily basis, whether it's wholesale or retail, and it becomes a superior system? Francois, yes or no?
We have several experiments which are not very far from that. They are not yet generalized, but they could be, let's say, the next 3 years, probably. It will go quicker on the wholesale side, I guess, because it raises less sensitive questions. By the way, Julia, if I may, in CBDC, the last C is currency and not coins. And for us, it's a quite significant difference.
Details. What proportion of transactions is it, to the point about the sand dollar and the 0.1% of transactions, admittedly early days? Let's say we have central bank digital currency.
No, if I am on the wholesale side, cross-border can play a very significant role.
How much? What proportion?
But it won't help yet for households. It's why we are working on another agenda, G20 agenda. I co-chaired with my South African colleague a group with 9 very precise objectives on speed, cost, accessibility of remittances, and it does not rely on CBDC. So we have other ways of innovating with newcomers, etc. CBDC is not the monopoly of innovation or of progress. But if we central banks said, look, we have been relying on banknotes for 2 centuries, we will still rely on banknotes for the next century, we would miss something, obviously.
Yes, Axel.
No, I'm quite glad to hear what you're saying, François, on the wholesale digital currency, not coin. I am also a believer that will come in 5 years. Yes, what I try to say is obviously, we still have those huge legacy environment. They need to migrate as well, so we will not yet see all the benefits coming through, but it will come and will be much more efficient, also probably much more secure, lowering transaction costs. On the retail side, I'm much more skeptical. Certainly call it for the established economies much more.
Kristalina?
Well, in 5 years there will be CBDCs that are, I cannot give you percentage, is it 5, is it 10, is it 50, but would be quite present in the world. On the retail side, the reason I'm thinking of a developing country where e-money is already profoundly impactful. So, as you keep asking, what is the problem we are trying to solve? And I also think, and this may be me being so mature, not to say out mature, that I think there would be space for fiat money of some modality in 5 years still, and maybe in 10 years. Because when you look at one of the most advanced countries in Europe, Sweden, when the war started in Ukraine, the demand for banknotes rapidly increased. Why? Fear of cyber attack. So we have to see how the world evolves, and not be ideological, be very pragmatic about the decisions we take.
And we should have talked about that, and you've warned about that as well with the sand dollar in the Bahamas, that the more digital you are, the more at risk you are of cyber attacks, particularly at this moment in time. So to put
5 years?
for you.
Yes.
Let's make it specific. Oh.
Wholesale, maybe. Retail, no. That would be my short
Yeah.
answer. And again, it's got to do with that balance. Francois put it very eloquently. When you think about innovations, right? The benefits are what pain point you're trying to address, and you counterbalance it with the risk and the unintended consequences. And that trade-off is much clearer for wholesale than for retail.
I love that you're so
I would be
pointed on the
slightly
answer.
more positive for retail, if I may. There are more questions to solve, I agree. But if we think of El Salvador, for instance, Kristalina, I would prefer El Salvador citizens not to have only bitcoins and to have access to e-euro or e-dollar. We will see. But it would be a progress. So there is a need. We will see how we answer the questions. But I'm sure we will have wholesale, and ready to bet we will have retail. But we'll see.
That opens up all sorts of questions
Actually,
about
I
El
will
Salvador's
sign
government,
to
central
that.
bank doing it. Can I ask a quick question at the end then? Does the Eurozone's digital currency come before a US dollar currency?
Or currency also.
Currency.
So we should have invited J. Paul.
No, I'm asking you because you've given me a timeline on
No,
the Euros.
so far, but they published a white book, as you
I
know, a
know.
very interesting one,
Yes.
which is open for consultation, which is at least neutral, so it's not negative, let me express it this way, we'll see. But I think that what is happening in the crypto world could be an acceleration of central bank digital currency, because there is a doubt now on the crypto world, and there is still a need for technology. Having said that, if this is one field where Europe can lie ahead the US, I will not complain.
That's called a diplomatic answer, but we got there in the end. But China's the ultimate winner.
But China has advanced a lot. It has not internationalized its pilot, but it is offering people visiting China the ability to be part of the pilot.
The ultimate trial.
So I think China is telling us all that the world is changing, and they have done it very effectively with private payment systems. And now the state is saying, wait a minute, we actually want to have an upper hand in this world. And they're moving. So we better all be forward-leaning on something that is moving so fast.
There's a message in that. I'm being told time out. Your
time out.
panelists, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Julia.
Really interesting.